Alright guys, I thought I'd do my first series of knots on bowline, or the bowline as some call it. It's usually associated with sailing, and that's how I learned it. I used to sail for about 7 or 8 years when I was younger. Also want to mention I am no expert. If you want to get into climbing or rope safety lessons, seek the advice of an expert. Other than that, let's get started. So generally I'll refer to this as my tag end, and the other side is the leading end. And of course you always want to check your ropes. Make sure there are no kinks in them, no frayed ends. This one looks okay. Alright, so the first thing we do when we're tying a bowline, you usually create a loop. And it's kind of important how you do this or it won't work. I usually take my left hand and just kind of twist it so it meets over the right. So it's the left side over the right. Then this end will actually become our loop. And that comes up through this loop. Down around this end, your leading end, and back through the loop. And simply pull and tighten. This is a self-tightening knot. However, it is known and has been known to come undone sometimes when dragging things through water. So one of the things you can do is leave this little end longer and just do a hitch over it. And that'll help secure it. Tie that again one more time for you. That's left over right. And this end becomes your loop, so that's how you adjust how long your loop needs to be. A lot of people used to remember this thing as the rabbit comes out of the hole, goes around the tree, and back down the hole. And of course this is where you can also leave more room if you want to tie a hitch. So let's do that. And that'll just help secure it a little bit. So that is typical bowline. So here's a close-up of the front of it. You can see the loop, how it locks around. And here's one of the back side. Go ahead to a second one. We're going to do the double bowline. It's essentially the same, except you create 2 loops. So that's one, and again, it's a slight twist. It's left over right. And then do the same one under it. So you have 2 loops on top of each other. And same principle. The line comes up through it. Back around your leading end. Back down through it. Now this time when you tighten it, you actually have to pull this other end. Now this one's very secure. It's got an extra little bend and loop in it, so it helps secure it. And again, you still might want to do a hitch. Just because. Okay, so this is what our double bowline looks like. Still has the same loop as the first one, only you'll notice it's got 2 loops now. This is actually more secure than actually, a regular bowline. You could still go back, and if you needed to, do a hatch on this end, just make it a little bit longer. So that should be way more secure. Next up, we're going to tie what they call a water bowline, and is more specifically designed for towing things through water to help avoid some of the previous problems. This one's just a little bit different. You do create 2 loops. Out of the way. Again, it'd be 2 loops, the left over the right, but this time you want them side by side. And basically, you're going to be doing the same action here. You want to come up to the first one just like you do on any bowline. So at this time you go down and up under the second loop. Then you come back around your leading end, just like before, and go back down the hole. Then you go up over this one and back down the hole again. And then when you pull it tight, that also creates a similar double bowline, but it's just a little bit different and holds very well. In this you could also add another hitch in the end, and that would do you just fine. Alright, let's go ahead and get a close-up of me tying that water bowline. Again, I've just got my regular tag end over here. What I'm going to do this time, it's not much different. Still the same looping action, except this time I'm going to go back and make 2 loops. But I don't want to cross them this time. Basically, you're going to be doing the same action. It comes up out of the hole, down under the other one, comes around your back end, down through that one, and then up and over. So basically this one's a lot stronger than the regular bowline, the double, so this one works quite well. And of course you can again always go back and put a hitch in this side, but it shouldn't be necessary. Guys, I'm going to show you another one now. This one's going to be a bowline in the bight. If you ended up having, and what that usually refers to is tying a knot if you only have the center of the rope to deal with. It would be called the bight. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to find the center of my line. And again, you're really going to tie it like any other bowline. You're going to create your loop, just like so. A little more room this one. Kind of takes a little more room on this one. Just go ahead and make your loop a little further down. Then you take your end just like you would before and come up through. Now this time what you're actually going to do, instead of going around the bottom end, you're actually going to flip this over until it comes around the back side. And this one's a little difficult. You got to kind of work this one into place. But essentially, it makes the same looping mechanism and whatnot. It makes it quite secure, and this one also gives you 2 loops that could be used for hanging 2 items, possibly some kind of, makeshift chair that I wouldn't recommend because this line's rather thin and would be painful. It might even cut off circulation. So generally you don't want to use that type of thing as a improvised sling, unless of course you absolutely have to. Okay guys, I'm going to do a bowline in the bight for y'all again, just a little bit closer up. Again, the bight just describes and then, the center of the line, or if you don't have 2 ends to actually work with. So this one basically starts out the same. Crossover with 2 loops, just like that. Again, that was left over right. Then you come up through. And instead of going around your leading end again, you actually open this up, bring it over everything, so that it comes back around. And then you can tighten it up. So this one's a little bit tricky. You got to kind of slip it into place. But then when you do, it does it nice and tight, and you end up getting 2 loops. Close I can get that. Alright guys, this is my last one. My batteries are dying here, but I'm going to tie one more type of bowline called a triple bowline. And it's essentially tied exactly like a regular bowline, only in the bight. So this one takes a little more rope than you might think, so go ahead and give yourself a good bit of length. You want to start off doing the same type of thing. A loop. Just a right over left loop like we talked about. Keep those together. And then you want to come up through it just like you would before. And around down the other end. And back up through. See, this is where you kind of need to leave a little extra room. But once you tighten it all together, we get 3 nice loops. Again, this one could be used as some kind of improvised harness, but again, I don't recommend it unless it's somehow absolutely necessary and only choice, because this kind of thing is painful, can cut off restriction, to blood flow. Also, it takes a good bit of line. You have to adjust each loop independently, so it's kind of a pain, but you get the idea. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. You can still see me here. Alright guys, it's starting to get pretty warm out here. It's probably, I don't know, 95, 98 degrees, close to 100% humidity. My batteries are starting to die, getting a little hungry. Coffee helped, but that's not near enough. So I just want to say thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope to be doing some more videos soon, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot.